In today's video, we're going to make a beanie in the colors of the New York Yankees. The yarn I used was navy blue in I Love This Yarn, white in I Love This Yarn, and gray was some acrylic gray that came with the knitting machine. I don't know the name of this yarn, but you could also use gray in I Love This Yarn because I felt like that yarn really stitched up nicely in the machine. Cast on and do 50 rows of blue. Here are my 50 rows of blue. Cut a tail, release this into the center of the machine, and now we're going to do 3 rows of gray. So I'm going to insert that. I'm going to crank until the quarter mark, tie a temporary knot like that, and I'm going to do 3 rows of gray. Cut a tail, and now we're going to do 8 rows of white. There are my 8 rows of white, cut a tail, and then we're going to do 3 rows of gray. Tie a knot for your ends right there, and then 3 rows of gray. Cut a tail. And now 23 of blue. Tie your ends, just 1 loose knot. And now my 23 of blue. I've done my 23 rows of blue. Cut a fairly long tail, and release the yarn into the middle of the machine and go around once without feeding any yarn through. Thread your needle, and now I'm going to go around and just pick all of these stitches off the machine. Here is the hat off the machine, so give it a pull to tighten up our stitches. And there it is. You can see that this yarn, look how nicely that knitted up. This is I Love This Yarn. The gray is actually just yarn that came with the machine. I don't know the name of this yarn. It doesn't have any type of label. If anyone knows what the yarn is that comes from the machine, if you could let me know, I'd appreciate that because it's actually really excellent yarn. The white is also I Love This Yarn, and it really came out very like tight and neat. So now we're going to flip this inside out. And we're going to secure our color changes. So here's our first one, and just look on the other side just to make sure it's nice and straight. And I'm just going to tie a second knot, and I'm going to trim these as I go. They don't have to be this long. Next one. and then we're going to flip this right side out again. And that's where our color changes were, and they're not like terribly noticeable. It's pretty smooth transition. Now we're going to put the hat together. So we're going to flip the bottom part of the hat up to the top. And then find that tail from the bottom part of the hat. And we're going to just start pulling this tail just from the interior part of the hat. Just start pulling it. And then just check on the inside that everything is nice and smooth. It'll look like that. I'm going to trim this because it's really long. And keep this tail hanging outside the hat. Now use the second tail and start closing that one as well. And again, keep that other one outside. Don't let it slip in. And once both holes are closed, I'm just going to tie a bunch of knots to secure this. You can sew this if you want, but for me, I find that tying it is enough. But if you need something a little more stable, you can sew those if you want. Thread your needle and just pull those two tails to the center of the hat so that it's inside. And then I'm going to thread this again. I'm going to slip those two tails in between both layers of the hat. And then I'm just going to trim them. And this is what the hat looks like. Now I'm going to make the pom-pom, and I'm going to use all three strands, the white, the blue, and the gray, to make the pom-pom. So I'm going to start on one end of my pom-pom maker. Cut a tail, and now you're going to have to slip your scissors in here and begin cutting. These scissors are not very sharp. I don't have my regular scissors with me, so just bear with me. Cut a tail of the blue. Open this up. Okay, and then just wherever there are long ends, just trim them so everything is even. I like kind of big wispy looking pom-poms like this, so I'm not going to trim it short, but you can trim it however you want. Okay, and there is the pom-pom. Now we're going to attach the pom-pom. Take a crochet hook and slip it from the inside to the outside, right through the hole at the top. Grab these two tails attached to the pom-pom and pull them through so that now they're inside the middle of the hat. Like that. Now one tail is going to have to be pulled through a couple of stitches so that we have some leverage, and then just begin tying a bunch of knots. There are a lot of ways to attach pom-poms. This way I think is the easiest. For me, I'm really gentle with my hat, so I'm not worried about this falling apart. But if you are worried about it falling apart, you can sew it in a lot more securely. And then I'm just going to get rid of these two tails. Really cute. I'm very happy with it. I really loved this yarn. It went through the machine so nice and firm and tight. I don't know if you can see just how nicely that's stitched together. Pom-pom's really cute, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked this video and if you're going to make this project, please let me know. Please like and subscribe for more content. Bye-bye.